Welcome to AVAIYA, Adeline.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be sharing this practice and my passion with you all.
Yeah, so excited to have you. And why don't you give us a little background? I kind of read a little bit about how you got into this work in your bio, but can you share a little bit more about what got you into yoga and restorative yoga?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I thought I came to yoga because of my back pain with scoliosis and managing this imbalances in my body, which did help. At least for the first few years, until I realized that it's more than just the physical body that is in pain and suffering. There was a lot of stress in my body living with the condition, and also the emotional impact of living with an asymmetry as a teenager. That level of shame and guilt and frustration as well, it's just all accumulated in my physical body that I didn't even realize at that time. So apart from some movement practices, when I met restorative yoga, that's where I truly understood that actually there's more than just the physical experience in my yoga practice. That restorative yoga really helped me regulate my nervous system to resolve those embedded emotions that I've been struggling with, the stress that's like flooding in my bloodstream for years that I didn't even know. And the effect of it is just so apparent only after a couple of months or even a year after, when I feel finally when I stand in Tadasana, it has vigor and power standing in Tadasana, different from like for the few years that I thought I have been practicing Tadasana or practicing my sun salutation. But really, it's that energetic power that has um, brought me to a place where, okay, maybe I need a little bit more rest and restorative yoga at that point. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing a little bit about your story and how you got into what you do today. So, for people who are not familiar with restorative yoga, what is it?
Yeah, there's so many different styles of yoga and approach. Restorative yoga, in short, is a relaxation practice. We are using different positions to facilitate the flow of prana in the body, to manipulate the nervous system in a way that it could self-calibrate. So it's a recalibration process, and it's a self-regulation process. So my short definition is it's a relaxation practice to support conscious deep rest. Conscious because it's distinct from sleep. It is a conscious, awakened, restful state that one choose to be in. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And what are the benefits, right? How can restorative yoga help someone's, let's start with physical health, if they're going through menopause, maybe perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, all those stages of the journey?
Yeah, I think I can weave that in if that's okay. Um, in terms of menopause, it affects different people, different stages, and also at different levels. Some may feel it more physically. There's a few more physical discomfort or hot flashes or um, pain and discomfort in the body. And some might be more emotional impacted or mental impacted. My personal experience, I've not so much of physical symptoms, but more so emotional. There's a lot of emotional fluctuation. So when I adopt my restorative or adjust my restorative practice for someone who is struggling with emotional recalibration or physical recalibration, might be slightly different. There are some key poses that are great for in general, which I hope I'll have some time to share with you one or two positions. But also very specific to, okay, is this really for comfort and introversion and being with myself and being feeling okay with myself, that emotional aspect of uh, relaxation. As with if someone is struggling more physically with of course, everything is to do with the hormones. Hormones are everywhere, like everywhere. Then I would probably adopt another sequence or another position that would particularly promote that, support that for that area of the physical body. It could be a pain in lower back, or is it congestion in the abdomen? So it's yeah, personal, very personal. So it
Right.
depends.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And a little bit later, yes, we'll have you demonstrate some poses that would be helpful for the physical body as it relates to menopause, as well as emotional, mental health, because obviously it's a huge, huge impact for so many of us, that emotional end of things, that mental health. Really just like my experience of kind of starting the perimenopause journey is not feeling like myself, just like feeling like, where did I go? Such an
Mm-hmm.
interesting time of life. So I'm interested in hearing more about how that can be supportive for people. I guess what would you say as a whole, even outside of menopause, what are the benefits of restorative yoga in one's life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, Often I do get asked, like, who should be going to a restorative yoga class? Who should be practicing as well? Really, restorative yoga is for anyone who has a nervous system, which is everyone. Um, the benefits, it number one, it shifts someone from a sympathetic dominance to a place where it's parasympathetic dominance. If we're familiar with those terms, the autonomic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system governs the fight flight response, where our heart rate goes up, our muscular tone increases, our breathing rate goes up, because we are attending to something, whether it's a conversation or some threat or danger. Whereas parasympathetic dominance or parasympathetic nervous system, that branch, governs the repair, growth, healing, revitalization of the system of the body in order to survive, to actually function, the digestion, elimination, and immunity, etc., fertility included. Yeah.
Mhm.
So often when someone is stuck in sympathetic arousal, we are hoping that we can influence and recalibrate the nervous system so that it could potentially switch and switch and also shift into parasympathetic experiences, so that the body could actually come back into restful state for rejuvenation and healing. So that's one key pose of how we can manipulate the nervous system and also build resilience in the nervous system, so that on demand we are able to choose, we are able to, okay, downshift or accelerate. When do I need which to be switched on more, in terms of the sympathetic and parasympathetic arousal?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah. So the other thing about restorative yoga, the benefits, is to familiarize ourselves with the experience of being relaxed. Some We actually do know how to relax from birth. Like, you'll see babies, they are very stimulated because everything is new to them. They'll be crawling, and then they'll hear noise, they will lift their head and they'll reach for something, engage with the adult that's around them. But then at some point, when they are saturated, they would just flop and they would just rest and lie down. They just wouldn't move, even if you nudge them or call their name, and nothing happens, because they are so in tune with their system to rest. At that point, when they've reached their threshold for stimulation, they would just shut down and rest. Nothing will move them. They can just rest on like the hard surface of the floor, and nothing will move them, because that is such a strong pull, nature's pull, to be able to come to that place of rest. But gradually we get taught out of it when we begin to have to adhere to society, time. Oh, it's late for class, or quick, let's get to the school on time, and it's lunchtime, it's breakfast time, quick, finish your dinner. So that imposition could take someone out of their rhythm, the rhythm for rest.
Mm-hmm.
And when we practice restorative yoga, we are resetting that rhythm. We are familiarizing ourselves again with it is okay to relax and rest, because it's not a luxury. It's literally for sanity and for survival, for to be able to function. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, in short, a few things that I've just mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you talking about the nervous system and obviously how that can help people. And then, yeah, that being refamiliarized with the rest and the example of the baby. I love that. That's so true. That it also reminds me of like pets, right? They just, if they're tired, they just like fall asleep on the floor wherever they are. It doesn't matter where they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a, yeah. And it's, we do live in such a fast-paced society that obviously we get trained out of that kind of being able to relax. So I can see why that's beneficial. Do you have a recommendation for like how often someone should do a restorative practice in a given week, or what are your thoughts?
AVAIYA has changed my life.
AVAIYA has made me the woman I am today.
AVAIYA is my home.
AVAIYA is personal freedom.
AVAIYA is the reason my life continuously improves.
Let everyone in your life know about AVAIYA.
Everyone needs to know about this amazing company.
Thank you, AVAIYA, for appearing in my inbox.
What Ike Allen and Andy Anderson have created at AVAIYA is what the world needs.